be unto you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video. My name is Leo Ivy. It's a pleasure to meet you. Today, we're going to be talking about a few tips and tricks on how to learn a language. It may be sometimes you may feel that it's difficult to remember particular vocabulary terms. What is a tool or trick that I could use to be able to better remember words? One thing I would like to recommend is begin by creating associations with the words, to be able to create your own definitions, to be able to remember what the word is, so when you want to use it, you remember how you created this association and you remember that term. Example of this is, for me, the word in Greek, philodoxos. Philodoxos. The word philodoxos in Greek means ambitious, someone who is ambitious. So how did I learn this? How did I remember this term? I created an association, a definition. So I took the first part, philo, and the other part, doxos. And I said, this part right here looks like philos, which means friend. And this other part looks like the word doxa. So I created the definition, someone, or I am doing something for the purpose to receive glory from my friends. That's the term, that's the definition I created. So now whenever I think about that term, I think about my definition that I gave for it. So I don't have to think about what the term is. Now I don't need it. However, I do remember that association with that term. Another word that I used as well is the term, such as, even in Greek, again, diathesi, which the first part looks like the word with dia, which means through, and thesi, it means disposition. I remember that word because of the second part of it, thesi, which means a place or a seat, and the word dia, which means by or through. So I kind of remember that term is that the place where I personally stand, like that's where I stand by, that's my disposition. That's how I remember that term. In Hebrew, there's a term, talachat, and I remember this term, which means plate or dish. And I think about salad, like salad. I put my salad on a talachat because it sounds just like, it sounds close. Of course, it doesn't sound the same as the word salad. So I'd say I put my salad on a talachat. And that's how I remember that word. Additionally, there's another word such as body, which means healthy. I remember this term because I had a friend who actually we called Bari. We called him Bari. So when I think about that adjective in Hebrew, I think about my friend who always used to work out. He was really fit. And I think about that friend, that association. I say, oh, body. I think about the word in Hebrew, body. I think about my old friend, Bari. His name was Jabari, but we called him Bari. And I said, oh, he was healthy, he was fit. That's how I remember that word, body. And there are other words in which I do this. You can do this with any language. And another word, such as in Yoruba, there's a term that is iku. This word means death. Now, my first language is Japanese. When I saw that term, I thought of the word iku, like tabeniku, I'm going to eat. I thought of the word iku because the word iku actually has the nuance, the meaning that someone died. And if you're listening to Japanese music, you'll hear it as yuku. But I the word iku in Japanese has the nuance of dying or passing away. So when I first started to learn Yoruba, I thought about, oh, iku means to go and pass away. So I'm thinking about when I'm dying, I'm going and I'm passing away to another life. So I think of this term iku in Yoruba as this word in Japanese, and even sometimes I remember words from other languages that I speak, and when you can see those connections and pull them together, it allows you to help you to remember the terms. One more tip I want to offer you is when you learn a word, create a connection with the word. Don't just learn it, but create a connection with it. Sometimes when I see a word, I'm like, man, I love this word, man. I'm gonna keep this in my vocabulary. I'm actively taking that word and making it my own. Like, for example, the word kekkyoku in Nihongo, in Japanese. I love that the way how that term is. It means conclusion, or it can be used as ultimately if you're using it as an adverb, and it can mean also end. And I said, wow, I really love this term. Like, I love the terms like, of course, like owari. But I said, I want to add this to my vocabulary. It's a nice term. I think it sounds great. I heard it while I was listening to an interview. I said, wow, I love this term. I had learned it before, but I didn't really take it so seriously. And I realized, I was like, wow, I really need to take this into my vocabulary. I looked into the dictionary to see what it means and its nuance and how it's used in sentences. I said, wow, this is a great term. I want to take this term and make it a part of my vocabulary. And when we actively look at terms, also we have to create this connection to these words that we can have passive vocabulary from reading and all those sorts of things, but when you look at a term and you're already trying to define it, and you're already looking at that word, and you're just creating, you're making the term something precious. You're making it something precious. Like, oh man, this is such a beautiful term. Great in my vocabulary. Great to use in a conversation. By doing that, you're actively expanding your vocabulary, and it gives you the interest and the motivation to learn, whether it's the way how it sounds, or just adding it to your vocabulary to make your vocabulary just more expansive. Sometimes it's very motivating to do so. For me, I really love to use this association tool, because this association tool allows you to be able to remember more and more vocabulary terms, and it actually makes it more fun and exciting to continue to learn. So, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I thank you so much for watching it, and I hope that it was really helpful for you. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and God bless you. Take care.